Story 1, Minecraft. I played so many hours as a kid. Now I'm older. I don't think any other game I've played has come even slightly close. I am kind of afraid to know what my hours are. Story 2, World of Warcraft by a mile. I was in a hardcore raiding guild for part of high school and most of college. I was playing 20 to 40 hours a week when I was really into it. Story 3, the original Final Fantasy VII, my friend and I put in hundreds of hours to the point that even now I could beat every aspect of the game. We knew every minute detail of it. Story 4. To this day, it's Team Fortress 2, and with how much older I am getting and how much time I lack for gaming in general these days, I don't think that record is ever getting beaten for me. Story 5, Witcher 3. For playthroughs. Thinking of another, although I have hundreds of hours in Skyrim and Elden Ring. Edit. I have a terrible memory, so I forget most of the game. Story 6. Smash Ultimate. I even used to compete in my local tournaments, placing pretty nicely every now and then. Then I got older and all I do is work now, laugh out loud. However, I still play online a lot after work, and if Smash 6 does become a reality, I might consider getting back into the competitive scene. Story 7. Halo Combat Evolved, hands down. In the early 2000s, before online gaming on consoles took off. Those were the days. Years of our lives spent on co-op or Blood Gulch, Prisoner, Chill Out, Hang 'em High. I want to play the Master Chief Collection right now and hop on a game. It's still so good. You kids will never understand the fun and craziness of a true local area network party. Back before you had other options. Story 8. Destiny 2, I have about 7,000 hours across both games. Day 1 raids, solo flawless dungeons. Loved player versus player. Dropped it a year ago, can't stand to play it today. It just isn't the same game anymore. Story 9. I was in high school during COVID-19, and Rainbow Six Siege was basically all we played. It was super fun because all the boys in the grade played, so we would have huge custom matches and assigned ranked squads. I kind of wish it was a different game because I am still only okay at it. I also quite strongly dislike Siege now. Minecraft might have it beat simply because I have played since I was about 6, though not consistently, but it was over about 6 different devices, so I cannot really know for sure. Story 10. I put an embarrassing amount of time into Final Fantasy XI over the years, and I wouldn't even consider myself a gamer. I haven't played that in a long time, but it will always have a special place in my mind. Story 11. I think in terms of hours and pure investment, it would be Monster Hunter World. Got it when it first came out on PlayStation 4. Finished it, did some endgame stuff, must have put at least 60 hours into it. Then a few years later, I had an Xbox and internet and wanted to play a game with my friends. Monster Hunter World just got the Iceborne update. Played through it, did some endgame stuff, easily another 90 hours. Then, in about 2022, got a personal computer, felt the urge, put about 300 hours into it. Easily my most played game. Story 12. Pokemon Sword and Shield. I thought I was done years ago, but now I just need a shiny Keldeo, so I have to go back to it to make a living Pokédex to transfer to Pokemon Home. But Story 13. The very last game was Hogwarts, but I haven't played a game in years, really, since having kids. Prior to that, anything Assassin's Creed related. Back in the day, it was for sure Skyrim. Now that was a game. Story 14. I was working on and off on getting to 100% in Gran Turismo 4 for about 5 years. Win every race, achieve gold on every license challenge, and have every car. It was a lot. Story 15. I'm pretty sure Minecraft takes the crown here. I'm pretty sure I'm playing for around 400 hours every year. Assetto Corsa, the racing simulator, probably takes second, but it's the biggest number I can verify since Minecraft Java doesn't show the time played, only world time. I have sunk around 1,500 hours into Assetto Corsa since 2018. Story 16. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and it's not even close. Been my go-to time waster since its release. I've owned it on just about every console it has ever been released on, and I actually just finished a Honda playthrough earlier today on the Switch. Story 17. Fallout 4, the mechanics just felt right when tweaked, and it is infinitely expandable by modifications. The story is the story, but there is a jumbo downloadable content-sized modification, Fallout London, that deserves public attention and accolades. Story 18, Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm in the process of fully completing the game right now. I'm about 43% there. No other game has made me want to fully complete it, but this game is great to just relax at times. Story 19 was going to say Final Fantasy XIV, but I'm pretty sure it's Pokemon Silver, Crystal, or Leaf Green. I played Crystal and Silver so much it's insane, but I remember playing Leaf Green at all hours, sneaking the Game Boy Advance under the pillow when Mom walks in, desperately looking for a beam of light to see the screen kind of obsession. Story 20. I quit playing it last year, though, so it hurt a bit to know I have poured so many hours into it, but at least I had fun doing it. Story 21. Fallout 76. I played the whole story after Wastelanders dropped, then set it aside. One day, I jumped back in just to run around and shoot stuff, and something clicked. I put a huge amount of time into it, built a nice camp, had all the gear I could want, got vending down to an art so I could quickly top up my wallet anytime I wanted, and then I got bored. Changes to the game sapped what fun there was left for me, so I went cold turkey 4 months ago now with no regrets. Story 22. Wow. I had to use methods to quit it that I got from actual addiction seminars. If I load it in right now, it has my playtime in multiples of months. Story 23. It's between San Andreas, Fallout 3, and Red Dead Redemption. Not as much as these three, but I've also put in countless hours into Grand Theft Auto 4 and Halo 2. Story 24. Animal Crossing: New Horizons. It got released right when COVID hit, mixed with me working from home, while actually only working for an hour a day because they didn't know what to do with me. It was the first Animal Crossing game I ever played, and I have nearly 2,000 hours. Did many trades here on Reddit. Story 25. I need to split this between massively multiplayer online games and single-player games. Single-player, Red Dead Redemption 2, over 1,300 hours. Massively multiplayer online games, hard to figure out, but my big ones are Asheron's Call, Dark Age of Camelot, and Star Wars Galaxies, to name 3,000s of hours. New World, which I have an on and off relationship with, currently sits at about 2,000 hours, not counting time in the various alpha iterations I was a part of. I expect some die-hard old-school RuneScape players have as much time there as I have in all my massively multiplayer online games combined, because to some of them it's a full-on lifestyle. Story 26. Probably Forza 6. There was a time when I would just play that for hours while I talked to my girlfriend on the phone. It didn't require much thought. It was just something for my eyes and fingers to do while my brain was talking to my girlfriend. Story 27. It's been 8 years since I've played Skyrim, and it's still Skyrim. I unfortunately pretty much lived in Skyrim when I was in high school. Get home, turn on the Xbox, go to bed, school, get home, Skyrim. Repeat. Story 28. 3,000 hours in Dead by Daylight. I probably also have a few thousand hours in Call of Duty and other first-person shooters, but I don't play them anymore. The joy is not the same as it was 15 years ago for some reason. I like being able to jump in and play a few quick Dead by Daylight matches here and there throughout the day. It feels rewarding, like getting my dopamine hit, as opposed to open-world games where after 2 hours, it feels like you haven't accomplished much and need to keep going. So, I usually stick to playing Dead by Daylight after 6 years. Story 29. Definitely World of Warcraft. Laugh out loud. The amount of hours I put into that game when I was younger is uncanny. I also discovered Adderall at the time. I'm talking no sleep for days, just grinding. Story 30. I have spent over 1,400 hours in Black Ops 3 according to PlayStation. It would be even more if I included other platforms. In my opinion, it was the last good Call of Duty. I stopped playing entirely after Black Ops 4 was released. No campaign? Forget you, Activision. Story 31. World of Warcraft. Throughout the rest of my life, I might never surpass the hours spent engaging in arenas and raids. All those long nights grinding to be in the top 6% in 3 versus 3 arena with my friends were an amazing period of my life. Story 32. For me, it is without a doubt The Sims 2. I started playing in elementary school after obtaining it unofficially and modded it extensively. I played all the way into my 20s. I now use a console, so I have kind of left The Sims behind since it's actually infuriating how expensive every little thing is. Modding and cheats are impossible, and I hate microtransactions. Nowadays, I would say it's a tie between the Hitman World of Assassination trilogy, Grand Theft Auto 5, and the Batman Arkham series. I have replayed each so many times over the course of the last decade and plan to enjoy them for much longer. Story 33, Team Fortress 2, 7,000 hours. Owned a public dedicated server that was popular with 24 people all day long. Also played competitive pickup games with a clan for hours on end. Story 34, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 2019, I played multiplayer until I got the Damascus Mastery camo, then became obsessed with Warzone. Modern Warfare 2, I played all modes extensively, including the raids, co-op, and lots of resurgence. I eventually got hooked on Demilitarized Zone, which I still play regularly now. They keep coming out with multiple Modern Warfare games because of people like me. I'm sorry, everyone. Story 35. As a kid, Final Fantasy VII had 3 Master Knights of the Round. As a young adult, it was Oblivion with over 1,000 hours in that. Now it has to be Civilization V with 3,500 or so hours over a decade of playing. Story 36. I grew up on Nintendo Entertainment System and am really tempted to say Super Mario 3 or Legend of Zelda, but honestly, I think the 500 hours I've put into Baldur's Gate 3 probably surpassed them. Story 37. Diablo 2, Civilization 3, Skyrim, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Kerbal Space Program. No idea how much time, but I would guess between all those games I would wager several thousand hours total. Story 38. By sheer hours tracked on Steam, Kerbal Space Program, VR Chat, RimWorld, Factorio, Skyrim. In that order. But if you count massively multiplayer online games, you can put World of Warcraft and old-school RuneScape on there too, with World of Warcraft maybe edging out Kerbal Space Program. Out of those, which had the most actual impact on me? By far VR Chat. I met my now wife on there 7 years ago, and so many now in real-life friends. Changed my life. Story 39. I think Ocarina of Time, I've beaten that game countless times, completing it 100% and speed running it. I've beaten it on 3 different consoles. I love it all so much. I'm now thinking about trying out one of those randomizers to see if I have any hope. Story 40. Beach Buggy Racing 2. I know it's dumb, but there was one summer where I pulled all-nighters every single day, and my hours ran straight up. Something about the chaos, man. Story 41. Red Dead Redemption 2 with just over 3,000 hours on PlayStation. Recently got it on PC too. I've also cosplayed as Arthur and my online character, met a few of the actors at conventions, and have 2 dedicated tattoos. I don't go outside much. Story 42. Probably Neverwinter Nights, though that was thankfully not on Steam where it could be tracked. A role-playing game with literally endless content because it's entirely player-driven, like a multi-user dungeon but in 3D. It was a wild several years. Story 43. Star Wars Galaxies, and I think I had close to 3,500 hours played and multiple accounts. No other game gave the same thrill as bounty hunting other players, and killing Jedi was tough, but I had extremely overpowered gear and used good tactics to bring them down. Story 44. Minecraft and Valorant. When I was a kid, and I still am at 17 years old, I used to play Minecraft almost all day after school and before school. Every free moment I had, I would play Minecraft. After a while, a friend of mine introduced me to the game Valorant. I had never played first-person shooter games before that, but I kind of liked the competitive system of Valorant. I almost have 2,000 hours in it within 8 months. Story 45. Pokemon on Game Boy or Spyro on PlayStation when I was young. Now Skyrim for sure. After that, Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite probably. I don't really play video games much anymore, but I've had 2 times on Skyrim where I got to over level 80. I just started a new game yesterday so I can do the mods. I lost all my stuff. Story 46. Guild Wars 2 probably. Or The Sims 4. Or Fallout 4. I'm honestly not sure and don't have access to the numbers right now. That's the top 3 though for sure. Story 47. Warcraft 3 custom games were my life as a child. I would make games and beta test people's games, run map-making forums. I'm surprised I never became a developer. I taught myself how to 3D model and program, and learned gaming principles, etc. I actually beta tested Ice Frog's Defense of the Ancients fairly early on. Story 48. Okay, so Counter-Strike. Global Offensive, when I did play across 3 accounts, was close to 4,500 hours. For single-player games, The Binding of Isaac, Rebirth, and its downloadable content is about 1,000 hours, and Baldur's Gate 3 is about 500. Story 49. Crash Bandicoot 1 to 3. I first played it when I was 10. I probably spent around 3,000 hours between the ages of 10 and 14. Then, in my early 20s, my cousins and I decided to become obsessed with it again and ran through 1 to 3 plus Crash Team Racing, all gems, all secrets, etc. It took a lot shorter because we were older and remembered most of the secrets. Probably a couple of 100 hours. Then again, in my early 30s, we took another crack at it, which is still currently going on. So far, I have added another 100 or so hours, and I'm not sure how long this streak will last. I did Crash Bandicoot 2 the other week, and it took a couple of days to get 100%. It's funny because that took me and 3 cousins years to do as kids. I am currently almost done with Crash Team Racing. I'll probably continue this tradition for decades to come. I really enjoy playing this game. Story 50. The Kingdom Hearts series. I got my first console because of the commercials for it and have bought the series repeatedly every time it changes platforms. Story 51. I don't know the actual answer, but Arkham Knight is up there. I used to have a habit of booting it up just to play the Infinite Goons challenge maps and blow off some steam. I don't do it much anymore, but during that time I think I racked up more hours in that game and also Arkham City than in any other game I played. Most games I just play until completion, then never again.